Welcome, everybody, to another installment of The Inspired Teacher. Today, my assistant is Margot Zurian, and we're going to begin a series on the Professor Cheng's four-direction pushing hands. So it's going to be a four-part series. This first lesson is going to be on the mechanics of the four-direction pushing hands method. So I just really believe, from all my experience, I really believe this is an excellent way to learn some of the finer points of pushing hands. You know, there's the original method, the old-fashioned method, as Master Leon used to call it, which is the vertical circle. It's kind of like, it's like two people polishing a window or a mirror on either side. So you can see it's a vertical circle. What Professor Cheng did is he took the vertical circle and he made it horizontal. So now it's like two people polishing a tabletop. When he did this, he made it much easier to learn a lot of the different aspects of pushing hands, made it really clear to see the ward off, roll back, press, and push energies. And there's so many advanced concepts within this basic method. How to attack straight, how to attack from an angle, how to defend straight, how to defend from an angle. 5 elements of sticking: adhere, join, follow, stick, no letting go, no resistance. There's just so many parts to this. And somebody asked me one time, why should we learn a method? Why not just do freestyle? Freestyle is great. One of the things with the method is it gives you the same attacks over and over again, and you can kind of correct and see and troubleshoot what's going on. Sometimes in freestyle, the action changes so much that all you know is you're getting pushed, but you can't figure out why or how. Or you can't figure out, why is it I can't push that other person? When we learn a fixed method, it's just like a little experiment. It's like a little laboratory experiment. It is not the be-all, end-all. It is just one part of your training. So, don't worry. It's not going to make you all fixed, and it's the only way you can do pushing hands. It's going to be a really good way to learn. The basic 4 directions, you've got your alignment, which is the front feet across from each other, and their front lines up with your back. The thing with the method, it teaches lots of Taoism. If you're forward, I'm backward. If you attack, I defend. If you lead, I follow. It's a whole bunch of opposites. So I'm going to start out with push. So my weight's going to be back. I'm going to have my hands in the push position. The partner is going to be in a ward off. I'm going to cover their wrist and elbow. The Yang's family writing, it says, control or cover 2 dangerous parts. Those are your wrist and elbow. If I put my hand like really close to her wrist and I push forward, she can elbow me. If I cover the elbow, but I got my hand like on her knuckles or her hand, if I push, she can use the wrist. So if I cover the wrist and elbow and I push forward on those areas, it's going to protect me. So I'm going to have my hands in front of my body. I'm going to shift forward and push, and she's just going to do roll back. So we're going to look at my side first. I push, she does roll back. I'm doing a straight attack. She now has my hands at the side. The roll back put my hands to the side. It's not good for me to push straight again. I'm going to push at an angle. So I'm going to change to press. Now, press can be, depending on the distance, anywhere from my palm to my wrist to my forearm to my elbow. I mean, I could do press like this. Basically, it's going to be palm to palm if we're the same height. From the press, I am simply going to turn my waist. She's going to cover, and now she'll come back towards me. Now, when I do the push, I'm the leading side. I'm going to use my back leg, and I'm going to push forward, pushing her straight. Now, for press, I don't have much left in my back leg. I'm going to use my waist turn. So I'm going to turn my waist. So I'm going to use my back leg to push and my waist turn to press. The methods are a really good place to see if the lessons of your solo form are in place. So for instance, when I'm back, I don't want my hip to pass my heel, and I don't want my elbows to pass my body. That's the same alignment from the solo form. When I go forward, I don't want my front knee to pass my front toe. So I want to be doing that even when I'm doing the pushing hands. I want to have this alignment. I still want structure when I'm back weighted, and I still want structure when I'm forward weighted. So again, my side is leading, push, press. There are so many lessons. For instance, if you shift your weight when you attack, that's fodging or long power. So this first attack, I'm moving my body weight. If I don't move my body weight, that's called dodging. It's strike power or short power. I'm not shifting. I don't have any momentum in my body. I'm turning. Now on the other side, so for the roll back, I'm going to start. I've got my elbow in my wrist. I want to be elbow to elbow with her, but I can't start that way. If I show you on this side, if I start elbow to elbow, I'm going to be off balance to get elbow to elbow. What I'm going to do is keep my alignment. I'm just going to lightly control her elbow with the edge of my hand. So I'll show you on this side. As the push comes in, I'm just going to conveniently let it come close to my elbow, and then I'm going to put my elbow up. So at the end of roll back, my weight's back, I turn my body, and I turn it just enough so that my forearm is in between my nose and her nose. So again, the mechanics from the solo form, I'm going to shift back by pushing myself back with my front leg and turn my waist. So one thing that's it can be kind of confusing, like why should I shift back when they shift forward? Like why yielding? Why all the softness and I know a lot of people don't believe that the soft part works. Um, in the Taiji classics, they talk about 4 ounces to deflect 1,000 pounds and some of these concepts, it becomes really simple when you understand the mechanics and the physics behind it. So one reason I want to shift back, it's not that I'm afraid or I'm running away or I have no idea why I need to get away from your attack. It's all about leverage. It's all about gravity. It's all about pressure. So here's a simple example. If she has a bow stance and she just holds and she's holding this dumbbell. What is this? 10-pound dumbbell, and your weight's on the back. Okay. Now I'm going to try to push this down. Watch. Look how strong that is. Well, gravity is all pouring into her stance. She's gravity friendly, and I have no leverage. Now, if she simply extends and puts the dumbbell out towards me, look, now resist it. It's simple, it's leverage. And so that's what we're doing. We're doing it with something heavier than a 10-pound dumbbell. We're doing it with gravity. Mm-hmm. So if she's really close and her arms are really strong, don't let me turn your arms off. Don't let me make them go that way. Okay? So she can fight that. But if we go like this, look. Now watch, look. It's simple leverage. You can see like the gravity is pouring down here and there's no structure under here. I mean, on one level, it's simple mechanics. And I can't get that leverage against her unless I go back. So on one level, I'm not going back because I'm afraid or whatever. I'm using the softness. I'm going, okay, good. Now I can start to overextend you and start using leverage against you. And that's why, at least in the beginning of pushing hands, the person defending, we want to learn to shift back. Again, we're not running away. We want to learn to shift back to make the other person weak. So when you're doing the roll back, use your front leg and push yourself really far back. You can see, yeah, her hands are right on top of me. But if you look, the gravity's here. All I got to do is turn my waist just a tiny bit and our arms will move. So when you're applying that in the four directions on the roll back side and the cross hand side, you want to stay back as far as you can. So I'm going to push myself back for roll back. When she does the press, I'm going to pull this other hip back. I'm going to go back even farther because now it's the leverage is against her. So there's no other reason for us to yield then. We want that as a strategy to make our attack better. You know, there's no profit in yielding. The profit is I want to make their position really bad. Otherwise, it's like every other martial arts. Stay forward and use your strong position. Now, after my roll back, she's going to put her hands together for press. What I want to do is I want to fight the urge to drop my hand. This is a much more powerful position. I don't need to leave it yet. As the press comes in, all I'm going to do is turn my waist to neutralize that. If we were just doing a willow with no hands and she did press, that's all I would do to turn to neutralize. So I'm not going to pull or do anything with my hands. What I am going to do, this is like cross hands in your solo form. What I am going to do is I'm going to protect myself, my wrist to her closest wrist and my palm to her farthest wrist. And then what that is to protect me from if she was going to try to, poke me or stab me or grab me. I've got my hands here. The hands are just to figure out what her hands are doing. It's the turn the other way that's going to neutralize the press. So as it comes about halfway, I'm halfway through my turn and her hands are lined up with my neck. That's where I'm just going to lightly cover. Now, when I finish the turn, I'm not worried about this elbow here, but I'm worried about that elbow. That elbow could come right into my chin or to my heart. So what I want to do is, as I turn, I'm just going to lightly touch her elbow with my elbow. See, now if you do the elbow, see, I can just do roll back. Now, what I'm going to do is lightly touch your elbow. I'm going to straighten out. My left hand is already on her wrist. I'm just going to slide this, protect myself, and now I'm ready to start again. So here's my side's push, my side's press, my side's roll back, my side's cross hands. You'll see it just, it's not a big, huge action. It's not a big clunky action. It's just a little bit of protection on that elbow. And then here's the ward off. For right now, the ward off is hidden in the very beginning of the rollback. So you want to practice this softly and slowly, and then be comfortable literally with your body on both actions, whether it's the attacking action or the defending action. And you want to be really comfortable, get it down where you're not thinking about it. And then a good way to do this is to literally close your eyes. If you and your partner trust each other, and I know you're not going to pickpocket, steal my wallet, close your eyes and do it by feel, and get the feelings of your mechanics, and then start to get the feeling of your partner's mechanics. And in the next lesson, what I'll start doing is I'll start showing you some techniques for when the mechanics aren't quite right, or some techniques of how to initiate an attack. And this will be a little more exciting. You got to lay the foundation. You got to get the basic method going, and then with the next few lessons is going to be some of the real fun stuff. So until then, practice this, and we'll see you next lesson.